Hello friends, welcome to my Cozy Haven. My name is Fiona. I'm really glad you clicked my video today. I'm just going to be chatting to you about the books that I have read this past fortnight, what I'm going to be reading this weekend, and just general chit-chat catch-up. This week has been very busy. I've had something on every day this week, and it's just like, I've now got to the stage where it's like, just let me crawl to bed. Let me go in there now, just sleep. So yes, it has been a busy week. Next week I don't think I've got anything on, which is nice. Might do some pre-filming stuff and things like that, but no, it's been busy. But that's just where you go. You get circles of busy and quiet, busy and quiet. But yeah, so that's it. Folks are well; they're doing okay. So that's nice. Mum's due for a cataract operation. Middle of July, so that'll be good for her. To get her sight. It's not away, but it's just make it clearer and everything. So that'll be good. She's looking forward to it, but also very, very, very nervous, as you can expect. So, yeah. So that's that happening. But weather-wise, it's been mostly dry during this week, but today is very humid, very, very muggy. It's just like not nice. Don't like it at all. But hey ho, that's the way it goes. But yeah, that's kind of it. So shall we get on with the books? Because that's really why you're here, isn't it? You're here to hear about the books. So I don't know if these are in the order in which I was reading them. I don't know. I'm just picking them up. The Shalley School in Peril by Catherine Bruce. This is a fill-in for the Shalley School series, and it is set it's so the term of exile. Okay, so you're looking at the Anschluss, you're looking at Kristallnacht, you're looking at everything, all of these things, the annexation, the joining of Austria into Germany. You've got Gestapo. The school have moved from the Turnsee up into the Sonnalp and into one of the buildings that the sanatorium own. There are some. Yes, the middles can be a bit rambunctious at times, but on the whole, it's a very somber book. You feel the tension of the adults. You feel the tension of the older girls because they realise what's happening. But then you can see the tension filtering down to the middles and also to the juniors when some of their Austrian, German friends, etc. have to leave. Because, Hitler has decreed that they have to be educated in their own country. So you get that. You get the tension of them actually wanting to leave Austria and things that happen as they're about to leave. It was very thought-provoking. It was beautifully written. I have to say, it was so well written. And, it just makes you think as to how all of the lead up to the Second World War and all that Hitler did affected not just those that, like the Jews, etc., and everyone else, but normal people, normal children, what it meant for them. And it was, I give this 5 out of 5 because it was just so well written, and the way she handled the situations was beautifully done. But no, very thought-provoking, and I wouldn't say it made me feel down. It just made me think, and it made me empathise even more. So yeah. So if you've read the Shalley School and you've got your read through Exile, if you haven't got this one already, I would suggest you pick it up because it is very, very well done and it's really good. The next one I read was All We Want for Christmas by Philippa Ashley. This is one that I got for Christmas. It was either last Christmas or the Christmas before and just didn't read it. After the Shalley School, I needed something. and this was one. So we meet, what's her name again? Lara. And Lara works at Ravendale Castle in the Lake District. And she's kind of like their events organiser. She's a historian. And they're in the process of setting out their light spectacular for December. And the man that oversees all the electrical stuff in the castle has fallen ill. And they need a replacement. And Finn comes. Now, Finn landed at the castle at Halloween because he lost his way or something. And then he found out about the job and he decided to take it. He arrives at the castle, goes to find Lara to reintroduce himself, and something happens. And something that's happened is supposed to bring bad luck for the castle, for the inhabitants, etc. And various things do happen throughout the book. To Finn, to Lara, to the two people that own the castle, to various other things happening as well. And it's like, it's really well written. I really enjoyed the way it was written. I liked the characters. I liked the friendship and then the possible romance between Lara and Flynn. And him settling down in the Lake District, she's settling down as well. Neither of them want to leave, but maybe one of them might have to. So you have all of that going on. You've got the build up to Christmas, how they celebrate Christmas for the staff, the light spectacular, what that means, and how they go about doing it. I did enjoy it. I think I gave this one 4 out of 5. So I did enjoy it. I thought it was a fun read. And yeah, so if you're looking for a Christmas romance for Christmas in July, here you go. There's one for you. But I will deal more with Christmas in July come the end of this month. But just a thought. So that's the next one I read. I then picked up One Italian Summer by Laurie Nelson Spielman. I got to 70 pages into this, or 100 pages into this, and I not for me'd it. Nonna really, really annoyed me. She was a vicious, vindictive woman that I really didn't like, who treated her granddaughter, Lucy, or with Emilia, absolutely horrendously. It was disgusting. It was awful. And there's supposedly a curse in the family on the second daughter of the family. They will never get married. So yeah, and then we discover that Aunt Poppy Great Aunt Poppy wants to go to Italy. And she wants to take Emilia and her other great-granddaughter Lucy with her. And I got them as far as Italy, and then I thought, you know what? I just don't care for this book. The characters aren't drawing me in, the plot line isn't drawing me in, and I just thought, no, I don't want to read it. I'm sure it's going to be for somebody else. I'm sure other people will absolutely adore this book, and I'd hoped that I would, because it was like you were getting dual timeline as well, and I love that. But for some reason, the characters weren't doing it for me, and I just didn't care. So I not for me'd it. I then picked up The Summer Guest by Tess Gerritsen. Loved this. Absolutely loved this. This is the Martini Book Club are back together again. Or they've never been away, and some summer guests come to the lake because for one particular family they're there to scatter ashes. And something happens to one of the family's stepdaughter, and she disappears. The police are called, and Jo is doing her best, but the Martini Club come in to help out, and they learn things about the town of Purity and also about the people who have their summer houses, particularly 3 families that had their summer houses or have their summer houses around the lake. And there's also something to do with a 4th family that lives there full time. I really, really enjoyed this one. The tension got ramped up and ramped up and ramped up, and you were wondering who's done it. And I had my suspicions, and I was partially right. And I felt sorry for that person because they've been drawn into things because of somebody else. And they just weren't strong enough to say no, but it wasn't the first time they'd done it. So, I didn't really have much sympathy. But thoroughly enjoyed this one. So if you're looking for a really good thriller for the summer, definitely pick this one up. I would say though that you should read the first one, which was, hold the front door a minute till I find out. Oh, come on. Why'd you put them in the bag? The Spy Coast. So I would read the Spy Coast before you read the Summer Guests. But thoroughly enjoyable book. Looking forward to the next one that's coming out. So, yay. I really like my thrillers like this. They're really good. Then on Sunday, if you watched our live show on Tiffany the Beach Bum Bookworms channel, you will have seen that I sort of put out some books that I possibly could read and wanted people to, my friends in the chat to choose. And a new chapter at the Borrow Bookshop by Kylie Nabar was chosen. This is book number 6 in the series. And we meet Harry and Annie. Now, both of them were students together at Oh my good grief. Excuse me. Oh my good grief. Just talk amongst yourselves a minute, will you please? Aberystwyth. And they were really, really good friends. And Annie goes back to Texas after her degree. Harry stays in Wales. But they'd put their names down while they were students, for 2 weeks at the Borrow Bookshop. And each time their names came up, neither of them could do it. But this time they've managed it. And things happen for Harry before he gets there. And the same for Annie. So they both come with more external baggage than normal. And it's the story of them working together at the Borrow Bookshop. Excuse me. We have a mystery in that a gentleman arrives at the Borrow Bookshop and he doesn't really know who he is, where he lives, etc., etc. And the town take him under their wing, and they try and work out who he is, where he's from, etc., etc. It's Harry and Annie that find out who he is or where he's been living, and there's supposedly going to be a new development at the top of the town that people are maybe not too happy about. And it's also the story of, will Harry and Annie actually be truthful with each other about what their feelings are, and what will it mean for them if they both say yes to a relationship. Really enjoyed it. Gave them some 4 out of 5. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Great characters, great plot line. Love the setting, and I hope that she's going to write more, because they're still at the end of the book. She says the next borrower is on their way. So you're like, who is it? Come on, I want to know more. But yes, really looking forward to the next one. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. It's been a great series. I would say you should read them in order so you get the complete story. But no, thoroughly enjoyed these books, and I'm looking forward to book number 7, I think it is. But yeah, so definitely pick these ones up. I tell you what, the first one you've got is the Borrow Bookshop. Then you've got Christmas at the Borrow Bookshop. Something New at the Borrow Bookshop, Love Letters at the Borrow Bookshop, and a new chapter at the Borrow Bookshop. So this is book number 5. I've read all of them and really enjoyed them, so definitely give this a go. And the last book I finished this week was At School in Sky by Mabel Esther Allen. This is book number 3 in the School in Sky at the Dundoney House School in Skye. This one was probably not my favourite. In this one, Miss Robinson has had an accident and she's having to stay in Fort William, or the fort, to recuperate. And her stepsister, Miss Gowan, comes to take over. Now, Miss Gowan runs a school in Herefordshire, and it's very strict, very regimented. And of course, Dundoney House is not like that. It's a lot more free. The girls have a lot more freedom. They all muck in and do things around not only the school, but the surrounding area, the crofts, etc. And Miss Gowan doesn't like this. She doesn't understand it. She doesn't like the fact that there's, the girl that's sort of like the senior girl calls a meeting of the school, but Miss Gowan doesn't think the juniors should be there, so she takes the juniors away. And the juniors are not happy, so they kind of rebel, and they rebel as juniors can rebel. There's like a middle, like Vania is really upset because Miss Gowan doesn't really like her. She doesn't like her friends, and there's a lot of discomfort and disquiet in the school. And nobody's very, very happy. Things do improve as the story goes on, but it's not kind of for the last, shall we say, 5-6 chapters. And it just seems sad that the school, it has a happy ending, and all is restored to normality. But do I think this added anything to the whole story series? Probably not. I think it would have been better if Miss Robinson stayed, or Rorison stayed, didn't have an accident. But you can understand why they did it. It's to actually make the girls realise that actually, what, we have a really good thing here, and we do love our school. Other schools are not run so differently, but we are so lucky that our school is run this way, and that it's something that we all enjoy. So you got that from it, but it was a bit, and I'm sad that happened, but that's the way it goes. So that was the last book that I actually finished this week. So what am I currently reading? I forgot to bring it up from upstairs. I'm still reading Still Meadow Sampler. The cover is there. I'm still reading Gladys Taber, Still Meadow Sampler. I haven't picked it up actually this week because I just haven't. And it's just not because I don't like it, but I just haven't. I'm still reading Donna Ashworth's To the Women. I've only got that to go, so hopefully within the next 2 weeks I might get this finished, which would be lovely. I've enjoyed all the poetry, but I'm ready for it to finish, because I try and read one each day. What I might try and do is read 2 a day for the next wee while and see if I can actually finish it, but I have thoroughly enjoyed this one. Then I am buddy reading with my friend Rebecca, who is Colourful Book Nester here. We're reading The Other Bennett Sister by Janice Hadlow. I'm on chapter 37. I am way behind on my buddy read. I really am. It just, with this week being so busy, I just haven't picked up. We're finally getting to, shall we say, more of Mary's story. The first part of this was basically a rehash of Pride and Prejudice, which was rather frustrating. Although I have tapped. My mother's like, how can you even think, how can you do that? So I just do. The other thing I am afraid I am writing in the book and underlining, because there's just a lot of things in here that I think are worth tabbing or underlining, and questions, etc. So I am enjoying it. I'm hoping that it's going to get better, is what I'm going to say. I'm hoping that this will improve as the story progresses. I also picked up last night The Daisy Chain Flower Shop by Laurie Gilmore. Just got to read 4 chapters of it last night. this is going to be Daisy and Elliot's story. I'm liking it so far. Enjoyed the first couple of chapters, so that is a nice one to read at night. And the other book I'm reading, I would normally put this... I can't read this one in bed. What I'm trying to say, I can't read this one in bed. That's why I've picked up the Daisy Chain. And that's because I'm reading Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the illustrated edition. I've never read this before. Or I've read Harry Potter, but I haven't read the illustrated edition, so I decided that I wanted to do this, so that it just makes it a bit different, and it's really nice just to have something like, have a book like this and just read the illustrated copy, but it's way too heavy for me to read in bed. It's just not possible, so that's why I picked up another paperback. But I'm going to put you on pause just now, because I am going to go and I've got a little book haul for you that I thought you might like to see. Okay, the first book I want to show you is called The Year of the Dog by Sophie Money Coates. I was given this by my aunt for my birthday. And the reason she got it is because they know the dog that this book is about, and they know the author, because they meet her every day when they're walking their own dog in Crystal Palace Park. So my aunt thought I would really like this. How one tiny terrier ruined my sofa but saved my life. And it's just about this lady who gets a dog, and I am really looking forward to reading it. I don't know when I'll get to it, but it's there circulating, and it's up there on my bookshelf with the rest of my books on some of my TBR. So I know I'll get to it this year. I then have 5 books. Now, 2 weeks ago, we had to take Mum to the opticians because of her eyes were giving her, and that's how we found out about the cataract, and we had the cataract consultation on Monday. And while we were in Dunfermline, I had to go and do a bit of shopping for the family, and I spotted a charity shop. I thought, I'm going to go in there and see if there's anything that I would like. So I managed to get myself A Wedding at Hedgehog Hollow by Jessica Redland. This is book number 3, I think, in the Hedgehog Hollow series. I think. Hold. You tell me in the front. This is book number 4. So I need to get book number 3, but that's fine. I will get it at some point. So I've got that one. I then also found Dakota Born and Always Dakota by Debbie Maycomer, and I have book number 2. So it means I have the series. So this is great. These will be read at some point within this year, I would think. So looking forward to those. And then I saw another bookshop, or the gentleman at the Heart and Stroke shop told me about another bookshop. And I thought, well, Mum and I will read the Debbie Maycomer and the Jessica Redland. Dad won't. I need to get him something. So I got him Private Rogue by James Patterson and Adam Hamdy. So I know Dad will really enjoy this one. I quite fancy the sound of this one as well. So Dad and I can shoot. Mum will read it as well. And then we went to Waterson's, and that was probably not a very good idea, because I saw this and I thought, I want to read that, and it looked very pretty, and I picked it up. And it's Introducing Mrs. Collins by Rachel Paris. What did Charlotte Lucas do next? So it kind of ties in with the other Bennett sister. So I'm looking forward to getting to this. I don't know when I'll get to this one, if I'm honest. It will be at some point. And I think it's going to be very, very interesting because somebody comes into Charlotte's life other than Mr. Collins at some point, and I think it's going to be interesting to see what she does. So I'm looking forward to reading that. So that is my mini book haul. So I'm looking forward to getting to them when I do. Hello friends, well we have our little mini greenhouse up. It's a new one to us this year, but it's very small. But I decided to make it into a tumbling tom, two mini tomato plants there, parsley, basil and coriander or cilantro. So I'm really pleased with this. I don't want to fill it anymore. I'm just going to have to make sure I keep watering it really, really well. But oh, so happy. And what we did is we made a raised platform for it. So hopefully it means that slugs and everything else will stay out. But really pleased with this so far. Whether we put the big one up, I don't know. Or whether we just use this one this year, but I'm not sure. But I am very, very chuffed. We've also added a parsley plant and another tumbling tom. So it's a pretty packed. That's as much as I want to put into it. I don't want to put anything else in. But I'm hoping that we're going to get some good tomatoes. Basil's doing really well, and coriander hopefully will do good in here. But yeah, I've already harvested some of that and a little bit of that because I used it yesterday in the salad. But yeah, very happy. Oh, hello Percy, our pigeon. But I'm going to shut this up so they get nice and toasty warm, and I'll speak to you later. So that's it for this video. If I can remember when I'm putting this together, I will try and add in a couple of video shots of my new wee greenhouse, which were made into a tomato and herb house. So just add, what we put into it and how it looks. I thought if I can remember to put that in, I will do it before this outro. So that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please come chat with me down in the comments. Have you read any of the books that I've mentioned? Even the ones that are in my haul. I would love to know. What did you think of them? Are there any that appeal to you? Again, I would love to know if there are any that you go, oh yeah, I'd really like to read that. What have you been reading in the last 2 weeks? Come chat with me down in the comments about that. What have you got planned for the weekend? My plans for the weekend are rugby tonight, watching the recording of Scotland v Morocco. Let's go Scotland. You did it against Haiti. Let's go against Morocco. Watching rugby tomorrow. Probably watching more basically sport over the weekend as well. I would like to bake this weekend because I've read, there is another book that I read it on my Kindle, but I can't tell you about it just now because I need to do some baking for it. I read it for an author. And we came up with the idea of me doing a bake, so I need to get that done. So hopefully that video will come out within the next 2 weeks because the book itself comes out the 5th of July, so I need to have that done before then. But so I need to kind of get my brain working in baking mode and sort of try and decide how I'm going to do things. But yeah, that's it for this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. On your way to chat with me in the comments, if you haven't already, I would love for you to hit that subscription bell and the notification button as well. It just tells you when I'm bringing out new videos. It helps my channel keep growing, which it is. I know I've had a number of new subscribers recently, so hello, thank you so much. I hope you're going to enjoy being part of this cozy haven over here on YouTube. But until my next video, friends, stay safe, happy reading, bye.